Yeah.
So I was listening to this last week on the radio when they were talking about that the dad was going to say something. He wants to go somewhere that doesn't have an established point guard.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was
so he can be the
so he
star.
can be the
So he can be the guy.
which is that's not a championship mindset at all. And
No, that's the ball mindset.
that's the ball mindset. Anyway, that's the end of our first quarter. Some punches were thrown. Oops. We didn't think that was going to happen. But let's jump in to our second quarter, where a trade went down over the week. You may have heard about it. A trade happened. No, here's what happened. Sorry, let me get my thoughts together. Some news came out that Porzingis had met with the New York Knicks front office and had said that he wasn't so sure about their future. The Knicks have been really terrible this year. We knew they were going to be, but they hadn't made any strides to get any better. And about 30 minutes later, we get news that a trade had been made. The Mavericks traded the Knicks for Porzingis. Mm-hmm. Can you give us a breakdown of who got traded?
Sure.
No? All right.
I can't.
Okay,
I
you got it.
I just got to get off
that
this
was
high
great.
real quick.
Oh,
All right.
man.
So the Mavericks received KRISTAPS PORZINGIS, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, and Trey Burke. The Knicks received DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, and 2 future first-round picks.
So I have a couple just personal questions for you because I know you're a super fan.
Yes.
How do you feel about letting DeAndre Jordan go?
Well, it's a 1-year deal. We were paying him $24 million. So the Knicks took that. Either they're going to let him go, or they're going to use him as a pitch to try to get other free agents. Because,
We'll come back to that in just a minute.
But I would say, so Dennis Smith Jr., I went to the games when they played Toronto. He's a head case. He's just a head case. He hasn't been himself. So
cool. You're okay with getting rid of him?
Yeah, I was cool with it. You know,
Wesley Matthews?
Matthews we were paying him $18 million.
He was
He
wasn't worth the price.
He wasn't worth the price that we were paying him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Overall, I love the trade.
So then the people you got.
Yes.
I mean, we don't need to talk too much about what you think about Porzingis. What do you think about Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Tim Hardaway Jr. he's actually making about the same money as Wesley Matthews, but he's better all around player. So I feel like
he's been one of my favorites this year. He's been
More athletic,
improved a lot.
sure.
More athletic. Yeah. Courtney Lee is just a good two-way player, just a role player that you're gonna have. Trey Burke's a good backup point guard.
So how does Dallas look going forward? I mean, are you excited?
Oh, absolutely. I actually went on Instagram, saw them practicing, so gets me excited.
Wait, so who practicing?
Porzingis?
I don't think
he was playing?
Like not full, but
Oh, I was like, I was about to say, okay.
When I went on and looked, I saw him standing at the free throw line dribbling, and when he went to shoot, the video stopped. I was like, interesting timing.
Yeah.
Is he Markelle Fulton it out here? Like, I don't.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
I'm
stop
joking.
it!
I'm joking.
I can't believe you just.
I'm joking.
That's the second time.
I'm joking.
One more.
I'm
You got
joking.
one more.
I'm joking.
You got one more. You put in timeout. You going to timeout. One more.
I was about to
You going to
walk- I was
timeout.
about to walk
First
off.
it was that KCP comment. That was one more.
I was about to
You're going to
walk off the
timeout.
set.
You're going to timeout.
I was about to walk off.
You want more comment away from the timeout?
So let's talk a little bit about Porzingis.
Sure.
During his intro press conference today,
Yes.
he confirmed he's not going to play this year, but he does plan on signing long-term with the Mavs. Actually, it was kind of funny how it worked. The reporter asked him the question, and of course, Mark Cuban, sitting a couple chairs down, chimed in and said, "Yes, of course, he plans on re-signing."
We're gonna give him a deal.
It's Cuban being Cuban.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they did follow up to him, and he said, "Yeah, I plan on staying."
I mean, because you're gonna have Luka for 3 more years on his rookie contract. You don't have any big contracts, so yeah, we're gonna.
How old is Porzingis?
23.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
23.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, also during this press conference, he was asked the question about, what happened in New York. Did you ask for a trade? Like, what was going on? And he said, I don't really want to talk about that right now. What he said, quote, maybe not an exact quote, but pretty close. He said, in the future, I might talk about what happened in New York. Right now, I'm here, and I want to focus on my new team. Do we know what happened?
I have a theory, but I don't know what happened. I think James Dolan got involved with it, and we all know that James Dolan is not a good owner, but he is the eyesore of the New York Knicks, where it seems like whenever James Dolan gets involved in things, something bad happens.
Yes.
So I personally think that him and James Dolan had a conversation. James Dolan probably said something rude, disrespectful that James Dolan probably does, and Porzingis was like, yeah, all right, I'm done. I want out. And they were like, cool. Because they needed cap room anyway. So
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to say the same thing. It's a front office thing, owner thing. New York has been inept for years.
But it's now, at least what I hear, they have a coach that they like. They just need to work on the owner, which you can't do anything about the owner. It is what it is. And then the general manager so far has been like, okay, we'll see. He's got a job coming up. So you know.
So here was something that I heard in between when Porzingis, I guess, asked for the trade and he got traded to Dallas. Apparently they called the Pelicans. They're like, hey, you want Porzingis for AD?
Right.
And the Pelicans went,
yeah.
all right, Mark.
Right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but I mean, the trade helps out both teams. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr., he's not a bad player. It's just when Luka got the hype that he got,
he mentally was.
Yeah,
gone.
he was mentally.
He
and then when he
place.
was in the trade rumors,
he wants to be for the number one guy.
Exactly.
Which
so the Knicks get the guy they passed up on. What?
Where's he going to wind up next year?
Who?
Dennis Smith Jr. Because in any of the situations, if any of the, and we're going to get to this, if any of the situations with New York work out the way they want to, Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be coming off the bench, whether that's for Kemba or whether that's for Kyrie, and he's not going to like that. That's interesting.
I don't.
Ship him to Charlotte. Ship him to Charlotte.
I think he likes winning.
Don't. Dennis Smith Jr.
Yes.
I
think he likes winning.
I agree
think
with
winning
that.
fixes a lot of things.
But it didn't fix what was going on in Dallas, did it?
Dallas wasn't winning.
Well, Dallas, we weren't winning, but at
Right.
the same time,
I said you have to win first in order
wants
for
to
him
be
to
the guy,
embrace
so.
a backup role.
But
I think he would be a backup.
You could
point
do
guard.
some deal and get Kemba into New York and throw him into Charlotte where nobody watches the games anyway, and he can just go, be himself.
They're not going to make that deal. He's going to come
that's
via
Jordan's
free
team.
agency. Yeah.
Ooh, that
Stop
was disrespectful.
it. Yeah.
I feel
Stop
bad.
it.
I feel bad.
Stop it. Go
Okay.
ahead, man.
All right, Jeremy, I'm going to say something, and I want to see your reaction. You ready?
Sure.
20 years of Luka and Porzingis. Cuban says that he's hoping to get those two players there for 20 years.
Boy, AAC would be a zoo, man. It'd be a zoo.
So what are we thinking? What does this team need to truly compete?
You talked about it before. Definitely need a sharpshooter. I would love to have just a rim protecting center. Nobody particular. Just a Tyson Chandler like Bismack Biyombo. Just a rim protecting center.
You've got another name in mind that you've been throwing out.
Oh yeah. Well,
Go ahead, say, man.
And they're rumored to go after Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
Current All-Star. So
you know what's funny is that everybody. We talked about this on the last show. Everybody is rumored to be going after Vucevic.
That's
he's
true.
Just balling out down there.
International Big Three, first one ever.
That would be.
I gotta admit, that would be a good marketing thing to do,
That would be
too.
something that Dallas would do.
Yep.
Obviously, we think that because Dirk's been there for so long.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yep.
And other people, too, that don't live in Dallas, I don't think people realize how Dallas, the city itself, is just lots of different
Diverse.
cultures and diversity live here.
So then here's the last question I think about Dallas. If let's say Porzingis was healthy this year, how would the team look? Where would they be standing?
So are we assuming that the trade happened and he's playing now?
The trade happened. All of the players are playing that got traded as is.
I still say we're on the outside looking in, but barely. Only because it's going to take some time for them to kind of gel and see how they play with each other.
And how often does Luka control the ball? How does he?
Luka holds the ball. Like Luka is the primary ball handler.
Is he the point guard? That's what I'm asking.
Pretty much. I mean, he's listed as a small forward, but he's basically the point guard, which is why him and Dennis Smith Jr.
Hence, positionless basketball.
I understand. But you still, every team has a point guard.
Right.
Unless
but
it's
technically, he's a small forward, but
Gotcha.
he's a point guard.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, it's interesting. I think Dallas is on the up and up. I know you're excited.
I'm super excited.
We'll see. I mean, I live in Dallas, so if we have a good team, then I could just go watch. Like, I'm not going to be upset about that.
It's coming.
I'll be wearing green as I go in, but
That's fine.
I'm
Mavericks
sure.
wore green too.
Yeah, I was
That's
about to say
fine.
the Mavericks won't mind that.
That's cool.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Man, stop it.
Let's talk about the Knicks, because the Knicks are taking a big risk.
Yeah.
And it's either going to super pay off or they're going to suck
Again.
like no team has ever been before.
I don't know about that. No matter what,
You're right.
If you can't make moves, you have first round picks to go off of, so you rebuild through the
you're
draft.
right. I got a little ahead of myself.
They just need to land a free agent. You're right. What you're saying is if they don't land a free agent, it's
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, I said
Right.
they'd be the worst team. I forgot.
they won't
I
be the
forgot
worst.
the Atlanta Hawks of last year were a thing. My fault.
Cleveland.
Or
Oh,
Cleveland.
yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, that's true.
Oof, I'm
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
the
New
East
York.
runs through them, by the way. Tristan Thompson.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a bit of news on New York. They are said to potentially be doing a buyout with Wes Matthews, and he's potentially going to head to Houston, Oklahoma City, Toronto, Philadelphia, and yes, Golden State.
Dude.
I mean, you know Wes Matthews better than I do. I know that for sure.
Yes.
What can he offer to one of these teams?
First off, knockdown shooting. He's a knockdown shooter.
Like a 3-and-D kind of guy?
3-and-D kind of guy.
Okay.
He's a really good defender.
Yes.
He's a little bit undersized for a 2 guard, but I mean he's another body that you can put at like let's say for example he's playing against Harden. He's another body you can put at Harden. That's going to be.
Can we please
a good
keep him
defender.
off the Warriors at all costs?
I actually think he'd be a good fit in OKC or Houston. to
Yeah,
be
I would say
honest with
OKC.
you.
Me too.
I think OKC would be a really good fit.
Coming
I
off the
think
bench.
if Houston could change their philosophy, he would be a good, but they won't.
Can we LeVar Ball this and speak that into existence so he doesn't wind up on the Warriors? Goodness gracious.
That'd be bad. Another shooter.
Yeah, he can definitely be. I think Toronto too. Toronto, just like I said, another
I can see
knockdown
that.
shooter. OKC.
I mean, a lot of those teams just need a 3-and-D
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. OKC really needs that.
Yeah,
though, I
Philly
think.
too. Like
I know, but I don't.
I mean, I don't see him
know.
going there,
I don't
but-
see him going to Philly.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
all
So
those places, all those teams are. Yeah, I can see it.
we know the Knicks acquired DeAndre Jordan in this trade.
Yes.
They are said to be planning on keeping him because he is friends with
KD.
Kevin Durant, who, as we have said, is probably leaving this year.
No,
We were kind of feeling
I
that,
don't trust DeAndre Jordan.
and this is kind of
He does. He has that. He has that.
I mean, the
he
dude
will
got-
renege on you.
He got
He
kidnapped
will
in his
renege.
own house.
That's right. Kidnapped. Kidnapped.
right.
Kidnapped.
Held hostage.
aside from. I'm just gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the Lakers, do we think that the Knicks is KD's best choice? Because I think that's honestly like with what happened and with this whole DeAndre Jordan thing, I think that's the number one piece that New York is looking at, which as it should, because KD is the best of the pieces that are potentially available.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if they can get KD, man, that'd be a good little fit, man.
So if
KD.
they get KD, here's the rest of the list of potentials: Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis. I don't think so anymore.
Nah.
Jimmy Butler, and Kemba Walker.
And
I keep
Walker.
forgetting that one because I don't exactly know his situation.
Right.
I don't know his contract. I don't know those things.
Ooh.
We kind of know about the others. What are your thoughts?
Man, that's interesting. So I was just thinking about just the potential of, like you said, KD, DeAndre Jordan. So I was thinking DeAndre Jordan and Kyrie would work from a pick and roll standpoint, but him and KD would not. That wouldn't work.
Right. So here's my thing. No matter what, though, the Knicks have to get one of those guys
They
we
have
just mentioned.
Yes.
They have to get one of those guys.
They have to, but they
have to.
also really need to get a second.
I agree with you, but I'm saying if they at least get one, they're doing. I would be okay with that. I agree with you that they need a second, but I'm saying they at least have got to get
This
one
is
of
my
those.
thought though. With the way that this team has been so bad recently,
Yeah.
KD will only go to New York if he knows someone else is coming with him.
I agree.
I think they only come in two. I don't think they're gonna come. KD's gonna come this year and hold out like LeBron did for a year until he can get the next. I don't feel that.
I feel you.
I would personally. I want Kemba Walker on a contender. I want to see what he's capable of. I think that would be a really cool thing to have Kemba, KD.
I don't think Kemba and KD could play together.
Yeah.
Because of the way they're just ball dominant guys.
Yeah, that's
the
the
ball
thing with
would
Kyrie.
move.
Well, look at
I
the
don't think it's a good
Warriors.
idea. They're not ball dominant. The ball moves.
But that's because they have the pieces that they do around them, is it not?
right. But do you think the Knicks would put the great pieces around those two players? I don't trust that front office. I don't.
I mean,
Haven't seen it
Okay,
before.
okay.
So
So we've talked about what makes this a success is they have to get at least one. A failure is if they don't get anything. And then we also talked about can they attract this level of talent that we're talking about.
Yes.
It's New York.
Yeah.
And that's really like the only thing. This whole market thing.
It's the same thing as LA though. That's what sold people in LA. So.
But I've got a question. Why did Porzingis leave if this whole market thing is such a big deal?
I like I just said, I think he and Dolan got into it. I really do think James Dolan somehow messed up, like he's classically done. And then when the trade to Dallas happened, think about it, that's a great marketing tool. Oh man, let me get these 3 guys, all international players. Oh, Dallas would all be about that for
that
sure.
That would make so much sense, because that would explain why he doesn't want to talk about it right now, because it's something deeper than what we see.
I think it's James Dolan.
Wow.
I literally think it's James Dolan, because who else could do something that crazy where he would just go, you know what, I want out.
Yeah.
Who else could do that?
Especially after he hadn't been in the arena for a year.
Yeah, and it literally came out of nowhere. It literally came out of nowhere. I'm not falling for it. You see it?
Why did you say that?
All right. Any last thoughts on the Mavericks and Porzingis?
The future looks bright. That's all I'm gonna say.
I gotta admit, for Dallas, it looks really good. Now I'm thinking about it, all they need is a shooter, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you could somehow sell to Klay Thompson, come to Dallas.
Klay Thompson doesn't
with
really
Porzingis,
like the spotlight.
I know, I'm just saying, but with Porzingis and with Luka and with Klay.
Dang.
At Klay Thompson.
I'm just saying, if I were them, that would be my forget all the rest of the guys. I'd be like, we want him.
I think Bradley Beal.
You think so?
I think Bill.
Ooh, that'd be.
I don't think Bill wants to come to Dallas.
Nah,
that's just my.
But,
that's why I said that. I think Klay could be kind of duped into it. You know.
Dude.
Interesting.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Wow.
Don't make us sweep y'all again.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. How many championships?
When was the last time that happened?
Long time ago.
2011. We won the championship. It's okay.
Oh, that is more recent than the last time.
Not Dallas done 1 year.
Right. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for the second quarter. And now that our first half is done, we're going to take a minute to tell you about our sponsors. We'll be right back with the second half.